Dwayne Wade, Kevin McHale, Clyde Drexler, John Stockton. These are some of the best number 2 players in NBA history. Widely regarded as the best number 2 of all time is Scottie Pippen. Almost everyone acknowledges the Bulls wouldn't have won 6 championships without Pippen, including Michael Jordan himself. But where he ranks all time is widely debated. You can find places that tell you he's the second best player of the 90s, one click later he's somehow not even a Hall of Famer. So just how good was Scottie Pippen? We're doing a giveaway for a $25 Visa gift card. In order to enter, be sure to like, subscribe, and comment where you think Scottie Pippen ranks all time. To see if you won or not, be sure to follow us on Instagram @NumbersBehind. We're still a relatively small channel, so there's a high probability that you're going to win the Visa gift card. The Last Dance showed us the unlikely path of Scottie to the NBA. He played point guard in high school and was a walk-on to the University of Central Arkansas at just over 6 feet. He had a 7-inch growth spurt to 6'8" that pushed him to the small forward position. He dominated. Like, a lot. He was drafted 5th overall by the Chicago Bulls, who traded up from 8 with the help of the Seattle Supersonics. Pippen had typical rookie stats with about 8 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists per game. In the playoffs, he earned his first starting position where he helped Michael win his first series. His sophomore season, he started the majority of the games, but his third year in the league is where he really took a leap, leading him to his first All-Star appearance. MJ and Scottie were the dynamic duo. Together, they three-peated and brought a fandom to the city of Chicago like I'd never seen. But these two lovebirds had a breakup after Michael retired for the first time in 1993. Scottie Pippen was in his prime and now was the leader of the champion Chicago Bulls who had just three-peated. If there ever was an opportunity to see how good Scottie Pippen really was, this was the chance. The Bulls started off their 1993 season opener with an overtime win against the Charlotte Hornets. In their second game of the season, Scottie Pippen suffered an ankle injury and the team lost to the Miami Heat. The Bulls went on without Pippen for the next 10 games and had a record of 4-6. When Pippen returned to the Bulls, they went on a 29-6 run before the All-Star break. In his fourth All-Star selection, Scottie led the East to a win over the West and earned himself an All-Star MVP. Scottie and the Bulls finished out the season 21-14, giving them a regular season record of 55-27 and a third seed in the playoffs. Pippen was the leading scorer of the Bulls this season, averaging 22 points a game, 5.6 assists per game, and 8.7 rebounds a game. During the season, he set his career high in points per game, rebounds per game, and defensive rating. They swept the Cavs in the first round, then lost in Game 7 of the conference finals to the New York Knicks by just 10 points. That Knicks team went on to the finals to lose in Game 7 by 6 points to the Houston Rockets. This shouldn't be a knock on Pippen though. Granted, him refusing to play the final seconds of Game 3 versus the Knicks because the play wasn't drawn up for him probably wasn't a great team-building experience. Seriously though, this shouldn't be a knock on Pippen for his performance. You can question his leadership, but only 3 teams in NBA history have won an NBA championship with just one Hall of Famer. Ironically, this was one of those years as Hakeem carried his team to his first ring. The Bulls did split their regular season matchup with the Rockets 1-1. The game the Rockets won, Scottie wasn't playing, however. So, you could say Scottie Pippen was 10 points away from beating the Knicks and then making a run to the finals where they would have eventually beat the Houston Rockets. Yeah, okay, probably not, but still, Pippen was solid this year. Pippen came 3rd in MVP voting and 4th in Defensive Player of the Year voting. The 3 front court players in front of him won a combined 7 Defensive Player of the Year awards. Pippen did all of this in the 1994 season while making just $3 million. Good for 24th in the league. For comparison, this year's 24th highest paid player is Al Horford, or as nobody knows him, the Godfather. In fact, the Bulls were paying Michael Jordan more money than Pippen to not even play. When Jordan came back, Pippen was still competing for these awards. In the next 2 seasons, he was runner-up for Defensive Player of the Year, but he was never able to take home the trophy. It's rare for a small forward to win, and since that time, only 2 small forwards ever have, Ron Artest in 2004 and Kawhi in 2015 and 2016. The league tends to have a bias towards big men, and the NBA had no shortage of dominant defensive big men in the 90s. But in 96, Pippen wasn't a runner-up to a big man. He lost to point guard Gary Payton. Even Pippen's own backcourt teammate Michael Jordan won the award in the 88 season. But being able to guard positions 1 through 4 made Pippen more versatile than any of them. Over his career, he made 7 All-Star appearances and was on the All-Defensive Team 10 times with 8 consecutive first teams. He became the second small forward to average over 5 assists a game for his career after Larry Bird. He was a uniquely well-rounded player, and this alone may have led to him never being individually recognized for an award. No, he wasn't the second best player of the decade. Hakeem would probably have something to say about that. But he's firmly in the top 10 and most likely in the top 5 player of the 90s. He was certainly the most versatile perimeter defender and the best small forward. Scottie's legacy will forever be influenced by the shadow of Michael Jordan, and he might just be the biggest snub for Defensive Player of the Year of all time. Or maybe he sucked, I don't know.